How did I go from bragging in a glass lobby with my rich boyfriend to holding legal papers with my name on them? Why did my poor ex stay quiet for months, then end everything in public the second I tried to come back? I thought money decides power, but that day proved law decides it. My name is Charity Royall, and I used to think I was a loyal wife. I said that word like it was a badge. I told people I had standards. I told myself I worked hard, so I deserved more than a small house, and the same tired talk every night. Graham was my husband. He was steady, he fixed things, he paid bills on time. He woke up early and came home late. He was not lazy, he was not cruel. But he looked tired all the time, and that made me feel like my life was already over. I hated that feeling, so I blamed him for it. That morning, the kitchen smelled like old coffee. The counters were clean because Graham cleaned them at night. Noah's lunchbox sat by the door. Noah was our son. He was 7, and he watched everything without speaking much. Graham stood by the sink and asked if I could keep my spending low this month. He said the car needed new tires soon. I heard low and felt insulted. I told him he was always limiting me. He said he was not limiting me, only planning. I said planning was another word for fear. He asked if I could stop ordering packages every week. I said I ordered what we needed. He said we had 4 candles already. I said candles were not the point. I said I needed to feel nice in my own home. He looked at me for a long second, like he wanted to speak, then he just nodded. That nod made me angry. I wanted him to fight. If he fought, I could call him a bully. When he stayed calm, I felt like the bad one, and I did not want that, so I made him the bad one in my head. Noah came in rubbing his eyes. Graham asked him if he wanted eggs. Noah said yes. I watched Graham crack eggs, like it was his job to keep everyone alive. I told myself it was basic. I told myself I should not clap for basic. I went to the mirror by the hallway and checked my face. I looked fine. I looked young enough. I told myself that meant I still had time. I looked back at Graham and saw his work shirt and his lunch bag. I said he looked like someone's dad, not someone's husband. I did not say it out loud, but I held it inside like a secret joke. On the way out, Graham's phone lit up on the counter. I saw a calendar reminder. It said, downtown 10:15 a.m. He moved fast and turned the phone face down. He did not look at me while doing it. I asked him what he had downtown. He said he had an appointment. I asked what kind. He said it was personal. I laughed and said he never had anything personal. He said he had some errands. I said it sounded suspicious. He asked why I was saying that. I said I was joking. He did not smile. In the car, I played music loud. I wanted my own noise. I wanted a new story. At work, my desk sat in the open area near the printer. The office smelled like toner and hand soap. People walked by with their coffee cups and their smooth hair, and I watched them like they were a different class of human. Cassidy from work leaned on my desk and asked how married life was. She always talked like life was a show. I told her Graham was being difficult again. She asked what he did. I said he obsessed over money and controlled my choices. She said that was a red flag. I nodded like she was wise. I did not tell her Graham also packed Noah's lunch and checked homework and kept the lights on. Those things made my complaint sound weak, so I left them out. I learned that if you pick the right details, people will clap for you. During lunch, I walked to the break room and checked my phone. Spencer had messaged me. Spencer Vale. He did not work with me, but he knew someone I knew. He was older, confident, and always dressed like he was going somewhere important. His message asked how my day was going. I said it was boring. He said I should not waste my life being bored. I liked that line. It felt like a door opening. He asked if I wanted to meet later in the week at a rooftop bar. I said I might. I told myself it was harmless. I told myself it was just networking. I told myself I deserved fun. When I returned to my desk, Graham sent me a short text asking if I could pick up milk after work. I felt annoyed by the small request. It made me feel trapped. I typed back that I was busy and he could do it. Then I stared at the screen and felt powerful for refusing something simple. Later, my sister Lena called. She asked how I was. I said I was tired of being invisible. She asked what I meant. I said Graham did not treat me like a woman, only like a helper. Lena said I should not shrink myself for a man who was comfortable. She said comfort kills love. I told her she was right. I did not say I was the one killing it. After work, I drove home, but did not go inside right away. I sat in the car and watched our small front porch. It looked plain. It looked like a life I did not choose, even though I did choose it. Inside, Graham was on the floor, helping Noah with a puzzle. Noah looked up and smiled at me. Graham asked how my day was. I said it was fine. He asked if I could help with dinner. I said I needed a shower. In the bedroom, I opened the closet and stared at my clothes like they were not good enough. I wanted to look like someone who belonged in a rooftop bar. I put on a black dress that was still modest, but it made me feel sharp. Graham knocked once and asked where I was going. I said I had plans with co-workers. He asked which co-workers. I said it did not matter. He asked if it would be late. I said I did not know. He did not shout. He did not block the door. He only asked if Noah would see me before bed. I said Noah had him. I said he was a parent too. Graham said he was, but Noah still asked for me. I told him he was trying to guilt me. He said he was only telling me the truth. I walked past Noah and said goodnight. Noah asked if I could read one page of his book. I said I was already late. His face dropped for a moment. Then he nodded like he was used to it. That look made my stomach twist, but I pushed it down. I told myself kids forget things fast. At the rooftop bar, the city lights looked like a promise. Spencer met me near the railing. He asked if I was okay. I said I was more than okay. I was finally breathing. He asked why I stayed in a life that made me feel small. I said I stayed because I was loyal. I said loyalty was punished in my marriage. He asked what Graham did to me. I said Graham never listened. I said he turned everything into a budget talk. I said he treated me like I was a problem to manage. Spencer said I deserved to be celebrated. I felt warm, and I let that warmth erase the facts. When I came home, the house was dark. I saw 2 mugs on the counter, far apart, like someone set them there on purpose. In the hallway, I heard a soft click from Graham's side desk, like a drawer closing. I walked toward the small office nook and saw the edge of a folder stack. One label said, Bank. Another said, Utilities. Graham stepped out and asked if I had fun. I said yes. He asked if we could talk tomorrow. I said I was tired. He looked at me and said he hoped I was being honest with him. I said I was honest. I said he was the one who always assumed the worst. He did not argue. He just said goodnight and went to the guest room. I lay in bed and stared at the ceiling. I told myself he pushed me there. I told myself I was not doing anything wrong. Then my phone lit up with Spencer's message, asking when he could see me again, and I smiled in the dark, like that smile could protect me. The next morning, Graham made oatmeal like nothing happened. He asked Noah about school. Noah said he had a spelling test. Graham said they could practice after dinner. I listened, and I felt annoyed at how normal he sounded. I wanted proof that he was the reason I felt stuck. His calm made it harder. Graham asked if we could talk for 10 minutes. I said I had a busy day. He said he also had a busy day, but our home still mattered. I said he only cared when I was leaving. He said he cared every day. I told him he was trying to trap me with words. While Noah washed his hands, I saw Graham's laptop open on the table. It showed a simple spreadsheet with rows and numbers. There was no title, only columns like dates and amounts. When he saw me looking, he lowered the screen. He said it was just budgeting. I said he was obsessed. He did not argue. On my way out, I noticed a new key on his keyring. It was small and silver. I asked what it was for. He said it was for storage. I laughed and asked what he needed storage for, his sad feelings. He looked at me and said he was organizing. I said organizing was what people did when life was boring. At work, I acted tired in a way people understand. Cassidy asked if everything was okay. I said marriage was hard when a man was insecure. She asked what Graham did now. I said he checked my phone and asked questions. That was not true, but it sounded serious. Cassidy said that was emotional control. I nodded like I had been learning this truth for years. Later, my manager asked if I could stay late for a client packet. I said yes fast, because I knew I wanted an excuse. I texted Spencer that I could meet after 8. He replied with a short message and a location. It was a nice restaurant with a dark entrance and a doorman, the kind of place where people feel important just by standing there. In the office break room, I told 2 co-workers I might separate from Graham. I said I was tired of being treated like a child. One co-worker asked if he hurt me. I paused and said he hurt me in ways that did not leave marks. I said that line because it made them look at me softly. It worked. When I drove home, I did not feel guilty. I felt like I was building a team. I told myself everyone needed witnesses. At home, Graham was helping Noah with spelling words at the table. Noah asked me if I could quiz him too. I said I had to finish work emails. I sat with my phone and typed nothing for a minute. Graham watched me, then looked back at Noah's paper without speaking. Graham asked if I would be home for dinner. I said I might be late. He asked why. I said my job mattered too. He said he knew that, but Noah still needed a routine. I said routines were not love. He said routines were care. I rolled my eyes and told him he made everything sound like a lecture. Then my mother called and asked if we were coming to Sunday dinner. I said yes. Graham heard it and nodded. He asked if we could keep Sunday peaceful. I said I always kept things peaceful. He did not react to that lie. He only said, okay. That night, I left for the restaurant. Graham asked if I needed a ride. I said no. He asked who I was meeting. I said co-workers. He asked which ones. I said he was being jealous again. He said he was not jealous, only confused. I said confusion was his default state. As I walked out, I heard the printer in the small office nook start up. It made that feeding sound. Then it stopped. When I looked back, Graham was holding a blank sheet like he had printed nothing. He folded it and put it in a drawer. He did it calmly, like it was normal. At the restaurant, Spencer stood when I arrived. He asked if I was okay. I said I felt free. He asked why I stayed with a man who held me down. I said I stayed because I was loyal and because I did not want to be judged. Spencer said people judged women no matter what. He said I should choose myself first. I felt seen, and I liked the feeling more than I liked the truth. Spencer asked what Graham earned. I said not much. I said we lived paycheck to paycheck. That was not fully true, but it sounded dramatic. Spencer said I deserved more security. I said I wanted security and respect. I said respect follows results. And I had results at work. Spencer smiled like he agreed with my math. When I got home, the guest room door was closed. I went to the kitchen and saw Noah's homework stacked neatly. Next to it was a sticky note that said, "Bring forms." It was in Graham's handwriting. I stared at it, then looked away. I told myself it was probably work. The Sunday dinner came fast. At my parents' house, the table was full. Lena was there. My father was already talking about a new car he wanted. My mother asked me if I was tired. I said I was exhausted from carrying everything alone. Graham sat beside me, quiet. He asked Noah if he wanted more bread. Noah said yes. My father asked Graham how work was. Graham said it was fine. My father asked if Graham had ever thought about starting his own business. Graham said he was thinking about options. My father smiled like he heard weakness. He said people stayed poor because they lacked courage. I watched Graham's face. He stayed calm. That calm annoyed me, so I used it. I told the table that Graham was afraid of change. I said he liked being average. I said I wanted more for our family, but he kept saying no. Graham asked what I meant by no. I said he always shut down my ideas. My mother asked which ideas. I said travel, better schools, a bigger home. I did not mention that Graham had asked for one simple budget month. Lena added that I had glowed down since marriage. She said she missed the old me. I nodded and said I missed her too. Graham looked at me and asked if this was really the place for it. I said he was trying to control the conversation again. My father laughed and said Graham needed thicker skin. Noah sat very still and stared at his plate. He asked if we could go home soon. I said he was fine. Graham told Noah they could leave after dessert. My mother said children were sensitive. I said children were sensitive because people baby them. After dinner, Graham helped clear plates. My mother asked me quietly if there was another man. I said she was being dramatic. She said she had seen my phone light up late at night. I said it was work. She said work did not send heart emojis. I told her she was imagining things because she watched too many shows. In the car ride home, Graham asked why I spoke about him like that. I said I was telling the truth. He asked if I enjoyed it. I said he deserved it for making me feel small. He said he never tried to make me feel small. I said intent did not matter, impact did. I liked how smart that sounded. When we got home, Graham's phone buzzed on the counter. The screen showed no caller ID. He looked at it and let it ring. Then he opened his notes app and typed something with his back turned. I watched him and felt a strange fear, but I pushed it down and told myself I was still in control. The week after Sunday dinner, I felt bold. I told myself the family scene proved I was right. I said I finally had support. I ignored how Noah went quiet in the back seat. I ignored how Graham stopped asking for talks. He spoke less, and I told myself that meant he was losing. Cassidy asked if I was going to the engagement party for our co-worker, Tessa. I said yes. I said I needed a night out. Cassidy said it would be crowded and fun, and she asked if I would bring my husband. I said Graham hated parties. That was not true. He just hated being laughed at. Cassidy said I should bring someone who matched my energy. She did not say Spencer's name, but her eyes did. I messaged Spencer and asked if he wanted to come. He said yes fast. He asked if it would cause drama. I said Graham caused drama by existing. I told Spencer he did not need to worry. I told myself I was choosing peace. On the night of the party, I dressed like I was going somewhere better than my life. Graham watched me from the hallway. He asked where I was going. I said it was a work event. He asked if he should come too. I said he would feel out of place. He asked why. I said the crowd would be fast and he was slow. I smiled when I said it, like it was a joke. He asked if Noah could come. I said no, it was adults only. Graham said he would stay home with Noah. I said that was fine, like I was granting him a role. He asked what time I would be back. I said I did not know. He asked if Spencer would be there. I paused and asked why he kept saying Spencer's name. He said he heard it from Lena's mouth at Sunday dinner. I said Lena talked too much. I said it did not mean anything. Graham said he was only asking. I said asking was accusing. Before I left, I saw Graham tap his phone and set it face down on the entry table. I heard a tiny soft beep, like a device starting. He did not look at me. He only asked me to drive safe. I said he was pretending to be nice so I would feel guilty. He said he was just being normal. The party was at a community hall with string lights and loud music. People stood in groups with drinks and shiny smiles. The air smelled like perfume and fried food. Cassidy hugged me and said I looked amazing. I said I needed this night. She asked where my husband was. I said he stayed home because he did not like people. Cassidy said that sounded lonely. I said he chose lonely. Spencer arrived wearing a blazer that looked expensive. He greeted me like I belonged beside him. He asked if I was sure this was okay. I said yes, and I added that Graham was used to disappointment. Spencer laughed softly. I told myself it was only a laugh. We moved through the crowd. People from my office noticed Spencer fast. They asked who he was. I said he was a friend. They asked if he was just a friend. I said I did not owe anyone explanations. That made them smile bigger, like they loved a secret. Then Graham walked in. He did not storm in. He did not yell my name. He came in with Noah's small backpack in his hand. His face looked tired, but his posture was straight. He looked around like he was searching for someone, not fighting someone. I walked toward him with Spencer at my side. Graham asked why he was there. I asked why he brought Noah to an adult party. He said Noah's sitter cancelled last minute and he had tried calling me. I said I never got to call. He held up his phone and showed missed calls on his screen. I said he must have called the wrong number. He said he had only one number for me. I said he was making it up to ruin my night. Noah stood behind Graham's leg like he wanted to disappear. Tessa walked over and asked if everything was okay. Graham said he only needed to drop Noah off with me for a short time, then he would go. I said I was not available. I said he should handle his own child since he wanted to act like the hero. Graham asked if I could step outside to talk. I said he was trying to control me again. Cassidy joined us and asked what was happening. I told her Graham was doing this on purpose. I said he wanted attention. Cassidy asked Graham if he always did this. Graham said he was not trying to make a scene. I said he already made one by showing up. Someone nearby lifted a phone like they were recording. I pretended not to see it. Spencer asked quietly if he should leave. I said no. I said Graham needed to learn. I said he could not keep pulling me back into his small life. Spencer stayed, and I felt like I had won something. Graham asked who Spencer was. I said Spencer was my friend and I could have friends. Graham asked why my friend looked like a date. I said Graham was being insecure again. I said his insecurity was why I had stopped feeling safe with him. That word safe made people look at him with suspicion, and I liked that. Graham did not defend himself. He only asked Noah if he wanted to go home with him. Noah looked at me, then down at his shoes. I said Noah should stay with me because I was his mother. Graham asked if I planned to leave soon. I said I could leave when I wanted. Graham nodded once and said he would take Noah home. He told me he would text the address if I forgot it. I said I could never forget where I used to live. Graham turned to go. As he walked away, I heard that soft beep again from his pocket, like a timer or an app. He did not look back. He did not threaten anything. He did not insult me. That calm made my throat tight. Cassidy asked if I was okay. I said I was fine. I said Graham loved to embarrass me. Cassidy said she could not believe he brought a child there. I said he did it to play victim. Spencer said Graham seemed calm for a jealous man. I said calm men are dangerous because they hide their real face. Spencer nodded like he understood, and I felt smart again. Later, when the music got louder, Lena sent me a message asking for pictures. I sent her a short video of Spencer and me laughing near the lights. I told myself it was harmless. I told myself it was proof I was alive. After the party, Spencer walked me to the parking garage. The concrete echoed under our steps. He asked if Graham would cause problems. I said Graham had no power. I said he was too scared to do anything. Spencer asked if I was sure. I said yes. I said I knew Graham. At Spencer's condo, the lobby smelled like clean stone and lemon. The elevator was quiet. I liked how quiet it was, like money itself was silent. Spencer asked what I wanted next. I said I wanted a life that matched my effort. I said I was done begging for basic love. Spencer said I should not beg at all. When I got home late, the house was dark again. The guest room door was closed. I saw Noah's shoes by the couch like he had kicked them off fast. On the kitchen counter, Graham had placed Noah's spelling paper and a glass of water for me. Next to it was a small note that said, "We needed to keep exchanges clear for Noah." I read that line and felt insulted. I told myself he was giving orders. I told myself he was acting like a lawyer. I went to the office nook and saw the folders stacked neatly again. Bank was on top. Beside it, I noticed a single USB drive with a tiny label that looked like a date. I stood there for a moment, listening to the quiet house, and I told myself I was still the one writing the story. But my hands felt cold, and I did not know why. I started to notice patterns, but I refused to name them. Graham stopped asking me to explain myself. He stopped trying to win. That should have made me feel free. Instead, it made me feel watched, even when he did not look at me. On Tuesday morning, I came into the kitchen and saw 2 mugs on opposite sides of the counter again. Graham was packing Noah's lunch. He asked Noah if he wanted apple slices or grapes. Noah said grapes. Graham asked me if I could be at school pickup at 3. I said I would try. He asked what try meant. I said it meant I had a job. He said he also had a job, but Noah needed clear answers. I told him he was being strict on purpose. He said he was being steady. I said steady was just another word for boring. He did not react. He only wrote something on a small notepad by the fridge. I saw the words meeting personal at the top, like it was a repeating reminder. He turned the page over when he noticed me looking. At work, I kept checking my phone. Spencer had not messaged much since the party. When he did message, it was short, like he was busy or like he was bored. I did not like that feeling. I liked attention more than I liked truth, and I could feel attention slipping. Cassidy asked how things were at home. I said Graham was trying to punish me by acting calm. Cassidy asked how calm could be a punishment. I said silence was emotional control. I said he wanted me to panic. Cassidy said I should not panic. She said I should protect myself. That phrase made me feel important. After lunch, I drove to the school pickup line because I did not want Graham to say I never showed up. The line moved slow. Parents stared at their phones and pretended they were not watching each other. When Noah came out, he climbed into the back seat quietly. I asked how his day was. He said it was fine. He asked where Graham was. I said Graham was working. Noah asked why we did not eat dinner all together anymore. I said adults had schedules. Noah said he missed when we sat at the same table. I said he was romantic, like his dad. Noah did not smile. At the playground, Noah ran to the swings. I sat on a bench and scrolled on my phone. I wanted a message from Spencer, but I also wanted proof that Graham still cared. I hated that I wanted both. I told myself it was normal to want options. Graham arrived to pick Noah up. He parked, walked over, and stayed a few feet away from me like there was an invisible line. He asked if Noah had eaten a snack. I said yes. He asked what. I said crackers. He nodded and thanked me like I was a babysitter. I asked him why he was acting like a stranger. He said he was keeping things calm for Noah. I said calm was not love. He said love did not have to be loud. I said he was turning into a robot. He said he was turning into someone who would not argue in front of our child. Noah ran back and asked if we could both push him on the swing. Graham said yes. I said I was tired. Graham pushed Noah gently and asked him about his spelling. Noah smiled for the first time that day. I watched them and felt jealous of my own child. I hated myself for that thought, so I blamed Graham again. On Thursday, Graham said he needed to stop by the hospital after work. He said his aunt was not doing well. I acted sympathetic because sympathy looks good. I asked if he needed anything. He said no. He asked if I could keep Noah overnight and have him ready by 7 in the morning. I said yes, but I said it like a favor. That evening, I drove to the hospital too. I told myself I was being supportive. I also told myself I needed to know what was happening. The hospital hallway smelled like sanitizer and warm food. I found Graham near the cafeteria entrance. He looked worn out. He asked why I came. I said I cared. He said okay. We sat at a small table. He stared at a cup of coffee like it was holding him up. I asked how his aunt was. He said she was very weak. I said I was sorry. He nodded and said thank you, but his voice stayed flat. A man walked by and paused. Graham introduced him as Mr. Howard Pike from work. Mr. Pike asked if I was Charity. I said yes. He said he was sorry about Graham's aunt. He said she had always looked out for Graham, like a second mother. I said that was nice. Mr. Pike said Graham was handling a lot of paperwork because family things get complicated. I laughed lightly and said, Graham loved paperwork. Graham did not laugh. Mr. Pike asked Graham if he had made the calls. Graham said yes. Mr. Pike asked if Graham had a place to store all of it. Graham said yes. Mr. Pike said he was glad Graham was doing things the right way. I listened closely, and I felt a little hot behind my ears. After Mr. Pike left, I asked Graham what paperwork he meant. Graham said it was family matters. I asked if there was money involved. Graham looked at me and asked why I jumped to money. I said I was just being practical. He said practical would be focusing on Noah. I said I could focus on both. He said that was the problem. When we left, Graham walked a few steps ahead of me. In the parking lot, he checked his phone and dismissed a notification. I saw a tab open for something like notary near me. Then he swiped it away. I told myself I imagined it, because admitting it would mean admitting he was preparing for life without me. That weekend, Spencer invited me to his condo again. I went fast. I needed to feel like I still had a winning path. Spencer offered wine, and I said no because I wanted to stay sharp. He asked why I looked tense. I said my husband was making things difficult. Spencer asked if Graham was threatening me. I said not directly, but I said he was setting traps with calm rules. Spencer said calm rules were still rules, and he said rules can be used against people. Spencer asked if Graham had money. I said no, but I paused before I said it. Spencer noticed and asked what I meant. I said Graham's aunt was sick and might leave something. Spencer said that could change things. He asked if I was on good terms with Graham. I said we were married, so yes. Spencer said marriage is not a shield when people get serious. On Spencer's balcony, the city looked clean and bright. Spencer said he could not deal with drama. I said I was not drama, I was growth. He said growth should be simple. I said my husband was making it complicated. Spencer asked if I could handle it. I said yes, but my throat felt tight. When I got home, Graham was sitting at the table with a folder closed in front of him. He pushed it away before I could read anything. He asked if I could keep all our talks about Noah in text from now on, so nothing got mixed up. I said he was treating me like a stranger again. He said he was treating our child like the priority. I told him he was overreacting. He said he was responding. I said he was trying to paint me as unstable. He said he did not need to paint anything. He said he only needed to keep records clear. I wanted to yell, but I knew yelling would make me look wrong. So I smiled and told him he was being dramatic, like it was a joke. He did not smile back. He only stood, rinsed his mug, and put it on his side of the counter, far from mine. On Monday, the news landed in a way that felt unreal. It did not come from Graham. It came from Lena, because Lena loved being first. She called me while I was walking into the office, and she said Graham's aunt had passed. She said it like it was gossip, not a person. I said I was sorry, but my mind ran ahead. I asked if Graham inherited anything. Lena said she heard from Dad that the aunt had no kids, and Graham was the main one. Lena said it could be big. She said it in a sing-song voice, like it was a prize. I ended the call and stood by the office door for a moment. People walked around me with laptops and coffee, and I felt like I was floating. I told myself this changed nothing, because Graham was still Graham. But I also felt a sharp panic, because I suddenly saw how I looked. I saw the party. I saw the dinner table. I saw my posts. I saw the way I said he had no power. At my desk, I opened my bank app for no reason. I stared at our joint account like it was a scoreboard. I told myself I had a right to be curious. I told myself I was his wife. I told myself the marriage still counted when money counted. Cassidy came over and asked why I looked pale. I said family stuff. She asked if Graham was acting up again. I almost said yes. Then I stopped. Acting up sounded wrong when a death had happened, so I changed the story. I said he was distant and cold, like he did not care about my feelings. Cassidy said some men shut down. She said I should secure my future. I nodded like she said something wise. At lunch, I messaged Spencer. I told him Graham's aunt died. Spencer replied with one word, "Sorry." Then he asked very fast if there was money. I stared at that question. I felt embarrassed and also relieved, because it proved I was not the only one thinking it. I typed that I was not sure, but it could be something. Spencer said he hoped it was not messy. He said he had a lot going on at work. He said he could not deal with chaos. I read his messages twice. The tone felt different, less warm, more careful. That evening, I came home early, not for love, but for position. Graham was in the living room with Noah. They were quiet, the TV was off. Noah was colouring. Graham's eyes looked puffy, but his face stayed controlled. I said I heard about his aunt and I was sorry. He nodded and said thank you. I asked if he needed anything. He said no, he had it handled. I asked when the funeral would be. He said he would tell me when he knew. I asked if we should go together as a family. He said Noah would go, yes. Then he said we would keep it simple. Simple sounded like a wall. I tried to soften my voice. I said we should talk because life is short. He looked at me and asked what I wanted to talk about. I said us. He asked what us meant now. I said it meant we were still married. He said marriage was not a magic word. He said action still mattered. I felt heat rise in my chest. I told him he was being cruel while grieving. He said he was not being cruel. He was being clear. I said he was punishing me. He said he was not punishing me. He was protecting Noah. I asked if he was trying to take my child from me. He said no, he was trying to keep Noah stable. I said stable was his excuse for control. He said control was not his goal, structure was. I hated how calm he sounded. Calm made my tricks useless. So I changed tactics. I acted sad. I said I made mistakes, but I said he also made me lonely. I said I felt unseen. I said he never fought for me. He asked what fighting looked like to me. I said it looked like passion and attention. He said he gave attention every day, just not the kind that gets applause. Noah looked up from his colouring and asked if we were mad. I said no. Graham said no. But Noah kept watching us like he did not believe either of us. Later, I went to the kitchen and saw a faint toner smell again, like something had been printed. On the counter was a stack of envelopes, face down. Near them sat a small phone alarm on Graham's screen that said, "Paper drop." He swiped it away when he noticed me. I walked to the office nook and opened a drawer. It was locked. I heard the click when it refused to move. I stared at it and felt insulted. I told myself I had a right to open any drawer in my home. Then I remembered the home did not feel like mine anymore. I went to Lena's apartment the next day because Lena always told me what I wanted to hear. I told her Graham was freezing me out. Lena said he was acting like a victim. She said men love to play the quiet hero. She said I needed to take control back. I asked her if she thought the inheritance was real. Lena said Dad said it sounded serious, like property and accounts. She said Graham's aunt owned a small rental building. She said there might be a trust. Lena's eyes shined when she said those words. I left Lena's place with a plan that was not really a plan. It was more like hunger. I decided I would repair things with Graham. I decided I would show him I could be warm again. I told myself it was for Noah. I told myself it was for the family. But in my mind, I kept seeing a number that I did not even know. That night, Spencer called. His voice was tight. He asked if Graham had inherited. I said I still did not know the details. Spencer asked if I was still living with Graham. I said sort of. Spencer said he did not want to be involved if I was going to flip back. I told him he was being unfair. He said he was being smart. I said he promised me a better life. He said he promised me fun, not a legal mess. I said Graham would not do anything. Spencer said calm men do things the right way, and that is worse. When we ended the call, I sat on my bed and felt something new. Not guilt, but fear. I had built my new life on the idea that Graham was weak. If Graham was not weak, then what was I? The next day I tried again with Graham. I cooked dinner. I set the table. I even bought Noah a small treat. Graham came home and paused when he saw it. He asked what this was. I said it was us trying again. He ate politely. He asked Noah about school. He thanked me for dinner. Then he asked me, calm and plain, if I was doing this because of his aunt. I laughed like it was ridiculous. I said he was paranoid. He said he was not paranoid. He was observant. I said I cared about family, not money. He asked why I had not cared before when he begged for peace. I said I had been stressed. I said I had been lost. I said he should forgive me because everyone makes mistakes. Graham put his fork down and looked at me for a long moment. He did not raise his voice. He did not insult me. He did not threaten me. He only said he would not do this the messy way. He said he would handle it properly. The next Friday, Graham told me to meet him near the bank branch downtown. He said we needed to talk about schedules. I read that like a door opening. I dressed like I was reasonable. I told myself I would walk in, calm, smile, and reset the story. Spencer also wanted to meet me that day. He said he needed to know if I was free or not. He said he did not like uncertainty. I told him I would handle it. I said Graham would calm down once he saw I was serious again. Spencer said he hoped I was right. The bank sat inside an office tower with a bright lobby. People moved in straight lines, holding phones and folders. A security guard stood near the entrance. I liked that place because it felt important. I told myself important places create important outcomes, and I thought that outcome would be mine. Graham arrived on time. He did not hug me. He did not ask how I felt. He looked clean and quiet, like he had slept well for the first time in months. He asked if I wanted to sit at the cafe tables near the windows. I said yes. I tried to keep my voice soft. I tried to look like the bigger person. I told him I was ready to be mature. I said we should stop fighting and think about Noah. He asked what mature meant to me. I said it meant forgiveness. I said it meant we should move forward and not focus on mistakes. He asked if I meant my mistakes or his. I said both. I said we both failed. He asked why I had started caring now. I said his aunt's death reminded me life is short. He looked at me and said grief should not be a business plan. I felt my face heat up. I told him he was twisting my words. I said I wanted our family back. I said Noah needed both parents. He said Noah needed peace, not performances. I said he was calling me fake. He said he was calling me unsafe for Noah's routine because I changed plans whenever I felt like it. I said he was exaggerating. He said he was tracking facts. A man in a plain suit walked toward our table. He held a folder and looked at a screen in his hand. He asked if I was Charity Royall. I said yes, because I thought it was bank business. He asked me to confirm my address. I confirmed it, still confident. He said he had legal documents for me. My stomach dropped, but I held my chin up. I took the folder like it was nothing. The man said I had been served and asked me to sign a receipt. I said I did not have to sign anything. He said signing only confirmed delivery, not agreement. I signed because people were watching. I opened the folder. The first page had my name and Graham's name in bold. I saw the word petition, and then I saw temporary orders. My hands went cold. I looked at Graham and asked what this was. He said it was the proper way. He said he was not going to argue in kitchens or parking lots anymore. He said everything would go through the process. I flipped pages fast. I saw a parenting schedule with school nights at Graham's home. I saw pickup times and drop-off times. I saw a rule about communication staying in writing. I saw a section about money, about not moving funds, not making big withdrawals, not changing accounts without notice. I saw warnings in simple language that scared me more than anger. Then I saw a paragraph about public statements. It said we could not shame each other online during the case. It listed examples, and my own posts were there in plain words, like a mirror I could not turn away from. I tried to laugh. I said he was being dramatic. I said he wanted to control me. He said he wanted to protect Noah and protect what was his. He said I had tried to destroy his name for fun, and now it had to stop. Spencer stood near the lobby doors, pretending he was not watching. When he saw the pages in my hands, he stepped back like I was contagious. He asked if I knew this was coming. I told him no. He did not move closer. I asked Graham if he was really doing this. He said yes. He said the schedule started now. He said Noah would be with him on school night starting this week. He said the next steps were already set. He said he would not discuss money with me outside the process. I looked around and realized people had slowed down to watch. The security guard glanced over. I felt small in a place that used to make me feel big. I told Graham he could not do this to me. He said he was not doing it to me. He said he was doing it for Noah. Then he stood up, nodded once, and walked toward the exit without rushing, like he had nothing to prove.